SMV. She has to be pretty or has to be an independent woman.
I had no choice.
What I mean is, a good-looking woman can have access to money in other ways. However, a woman that lacks appeal to a lot of men, well, she would have less options.
That I'm not pretty enough for him.
In terms of extra finances, so she has no choice but to be an independent woman.
This is what I want.
So how much does sexual market value play into women's survival, if it does at all?
Abundantly clear to you right now. My desirability will always come into question. I will always go to the headspace of wondering how lovable and fuckable I am because I grew up a fat person.
Damn.
The fluffy girls, them not sexy too.
Interesting. And it's a big thing for a lot of women.
How lovable and fuckable
I am.
Don't you find me attractive?
So much so they deliberately fight against it, because a lot of women, why should they look good for a man? Why should they be sexy for a man?
And
Fuckable.
Interesting. Let's let her continue.
Who felt completely undesirable my whole life. I hate to come on here in such an emotional state, but it's something that I have to just come to terms with. And feeling a lack of desirability in a world that teaches us that our desirability is the one thing we have to give has put me in situations which I wish I was never in. I have made choices from the feeling of lack of desirability that I wish I could take away with every fiber of my being. I've been a version of myself that has been so small and so beaten down and ended up with people who should never have had access to me because I was always searching for the feeling of desirability. The reason why I feel so compelled to be on the internet and just show the complexities of living in a fat body is because I would do anything in my power to make it so nobody ever had to feel this.
But you have to stop feeling that you're undesirable.
Interesting. Lovely woman, making a very good point. Being very bold and open with her points.
Nobody ever had to feel this.
Now, as usual, using her as an example, because she's brave enough to make the points.
And
Fuckable.
So using her as an example, to the title SMV, sexual market value, she has to be pretty or independent.
I don't need a man.
Now the point to my earlier statement about pretty women having access to extra money,
sugar.
what I mean is the obvious. A lot of men with money of various levels would want to date a very good looking woman. A trophy piece, if you will. Many reasons why a man would want a good looking woman.
Oh, you're looking good. All right. Good.
We're men, we get the point, It's a good looking woman.
Good.
So a good looking woman has access to a wider variety of men because she looks good. She's more fuckable, using her terms. She's more fuckable, let's be honest.
Big heart, fat pum pum.
Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah, more men want to stick their knob in her.
Disgusting.
Indeed. Interesting. So,
Nobody ever had to feel this.
this woman clearly has access to more men. This woman can afford to live a very lazy, lavish life. Getting ran through, obviously. But a very lazy, lavish life, where all she has to do is continue to look pretty. A few videos back, I mentioned women having sponsors to look like baddies. And by looking like baddies, these women can attract further and other rich or wealthy men. Yeah, but how do some women even get access to one man? To even get access to more. And it's not just about money here. I'm using the point of money and independence for the fact that a lot of women can live lazy lives without working as hard as some women who do not have access to those men.
Rich men want it.
But aside from that as well, aside from the money, she's also mentioned dating men that just didn't treat her well.
And so beaten down and ended up with people who should never have
Had access to me.
So regardless of the money, it's just simply about how certain men treat her, the men she's actually dated. They haven't treated her well.
Nobody ever had to feel this.
Whether they felt she's beneath them or she feels she's beneath them, whatever it is, she feels she's been done wrong.
Always the man's fault.
Anyway, so my point is, a lot of women, not all of them obviously, not all obviously, a lot of women on the internet are just shouting about something they have no choice about.
Dirty, musty, crusty men.
Basically, they have no choice. A lot of women on the internet are waffling about certain points, when simply put, woman, the fact of reality is, you know yourself, even if women want to deny it.
Suck it.
That hot chick right there could be younger than you, but that hot chick right there with a nice body has more value, has more sexual sexual market value to a larger number of men than you here with all of your degrees, but you do not look like her.
Nope.
You've got everything. You don't look like her though.
Nope.
This entire dynamic is why a lot of women date homosexuals.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Now, before you attack me, step back and think about it. Not even saying it to be rude. A lot of women date homosexuals because some women have no choice.
Damn.
She needs to feel like the better one. She has to be independent because can she get a man that's richer than her, makes more money than her, and is willing to take care of her? When a man of that level of earnings, he could just get a better looking woman, which a lot of men just do anyway. My point is, amongst my waffling, sexual market value is a very big thing for women. They can deny it all they want to. The wall doesn't exist all they want to. I don't need to look good for a man all they want to. The reality is a lot of women are capping because the deep, dark and harsh reality of it is they know they can't compete. They know they can't compete with other women who look good for no reason, and she has a wider variety of men that want her. Not only men with money, but men that may actually want to treat her better. Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Let me step back. Damn. Did I say too much?
This is trash AF.
Am I going too far? Let's continue.
It's hard enough being a woman, especially a woman that grew up in the 90s where it seemed like this was at an all-time high. Not to say that previous generations didn't get it really bad, but like, I lived through the Britney Spears era, and we were taught if you weren't fuckable, you had nothing. So desirability is something that keeps coming back into my life. It keeps rearing its ugly head, and I keep facing it and cowarding over how big it feels. I will always go to the headspace of wondering how lovable and
I've never hit stitch so fast in my goddamn life, because this is exactly it. This weekend, I was explaining my body to a random stranger on the internet because my God, dating apps. And he ended up saying, you know what? I am in my Venus de Milo phase. And if that is not the type of woman that you're looking for, if your preference isn't women with soft bellies and thick curves and real bodies, then tell me now, because I don't have the capacity to be disappointed later.
Interesting.
Thick curves.
Wow. That was actually quite deep. And if we're being honest, I mean, she's talking from a deep place of, let's be honest, of her
Experience?
and past trauma. She doesn't have the capacity to be disappointed later.
Thick curves. Be disappointed later.
In other words, she doesn't want a man to get close to her. Then when they become intimate, he's like,
thick curves.
Wow. Again, lovely woman, not being rude to her, using her as an example, because obviously a lot of women would feel like this as well.
That you're looking for, if your preference isn't women with soft bellies and thick curves and real bodies, then tell me now, because I don't have the capacity to be disappointed later.
A lot of women don't have the time to balance out being fully both. Some women can. Some women can only be one or the other.
And I was almost in tears at myself that I even have to have this conversation. And now look, I get it. We are all allowed our preference. Your preference doesn't get to make me feel like shit. I have spent the last 7 years trying to deprogram 90s. I'd rather be skinny than
Unfuckable.
nothing tastes as good as skinny feels. Kate Moss can fuck off. I have spent the last 7 years deprogramming that almond mom diet culture bullshit that I grew up with in the 90s, and I had a total triggering moment this weekend.
You can see why it's a triggering topic in general for women, and you can see why women are very defensive about it, and it does make a lot of women insecure. Her insecure energies. It would make women insecure because they would deny so much the power of this topic. They would deny it so much because it does make them insecure. Women never want to admit that they value how men value them physically. As I keep saying, the want to be wanted rules everybody. It rules men and women slightly differently, the same but slightly differently. This is one way the want to be wanted rules women, their sexual market value. It's enough to drive a lot of women crazy and just make them undateable as well.
Her video nails it. He nails it. I will always, no matter what size I am always question my desirability, my value, my worth, and my fuckability based on my body shape because it doesn't look like something that somebody told me it was supposed to. Dating is fucking hard. Give yourself some grace. I love you. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are gorgeous. You are desirable. Baby, you are fuckable. You go get it. I am here for you. We got this together. And I'm not editing any of that. I'm not doing it over because that's how I feel and I needed to say it. And thank you so much for hearing me out.
Lovely. Honestly, women are lovely at various sizes, ages, and shapes. It's not just the young, hot, fine thing. However, if we're being honest as well, the young, hot, fine thing could be selling burgers and pull a man worth millions. Have a nice day.
Fuckable.